If you've been waiting to get into VR, just like I have, well then let me tell you why I believe that this, the Meta Quest 3S, is the first VR headset worth purchasing for most people, including me, and why VR is about to go mainstream. Oh, and by the way, this is not a sponsored video. I paid for this thing with my own money. So we've had consumer VR for a few years now, but it hasn't really blown up in any big, meaningful way. And the way I see it, there are two main reasons for this. The first reason is that the hardware has generally been way too expensive, sometimes even needing another machine like a PlayStation or a gaming PC for it to run. And the second reason is, although there have been some really great VR experiences out there haven't been that many of them. But now that's all changing. VR content is getting really, really good, and there's so much variety out there that there's something to suit anybody's taste, whether it's the games or any of the growing number of other use cases beyond gaming. And the Quest 3S really is the first headset that delivers the whole package to a high standard and at the right price. I mean, look at me. I'm working my day job in mixed reality. Now I'm hiking in remote locations. Now I'm playing retro games in a 90s bedroom. Now I'm watching YouTube videos in the dark. Now I'm scuba diving. And now, I'm Batman. So the Quest 3S supports PC VR, standalone VR, and mixed reality, and it benefits from the advances in all of these spheres and does a really good job of delivering a high quality experience in all of these spheres too. Not only are we getting more and more really good PC VR titles coming out these days, but it's now even possible to mod just about any PC game into a VR game using some tools. On the standalone side of things, you have these Quest exclusives that were running on the Quest 2 and more recently the Quest 3. And the Quest 3S has the same processing power as the Quest 3. So the games that were built to run on the Quest 3 run really well on the Quest 3S as well, with a slightly lower resolution and slightly cheaper lenses. So visually it doesn't look quite as good, but it has the horsepower to run these games more so than the Quest 2 did. So titles like Metro Awakening and Batman Arkham Shadow, which I've played for a few hours now, and I've got to say, it's so good. But you don't have to take my word for it. Just go and check out any of the reviews. It's pretty unanimous. People love the new Batman game. Then you have these other use cases like with mixed reality. So you can do spatial computing and use your headset to give yourself a set of monitors for your computer. Some people like to do their cooking in mixed reality. And ultimately you can connect this headset to any device that will output video via HDMI and use it as a monitor for that. But look, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, right? There are a few things that I would consider to be less than perfect. So for instance, the battery life could be a lot better. You're not gonna get a long gaming session in without it being plugged in at some stage. That's a bit of a letdown for me. Also, the USB-C cable that comes bundled with the headset is just way too short. You're never gonna be able to use it for PC VR. All it's good for is charging the device while it's not sitting on your head. And so if you want to do PC VR, you actually have to buy a separate Quest Link cable. And the official one from Meta is just way overpriced. I wouldn't recommend getting that. In fact, what I'll do is I'll just put an affiliate link to the cable that I ended up getting right over here. It works really well for me. So here's my verdict. Look, the Quest 3S is an entry-level budget VR headset. It's not going to be as good of a visual experience as its bigger brother, the Quest 3 or the PSVR 2, and it's not going to have as good of a mixed reality experience as something like the Apple Vision Pro. But when you consider the prices of these other devices, especially the Apple Vision Pro, and the limitations of some of these other devices, the Vision Pro, for example, isn't very good for gaming, and the PSVR 2 doesn't really do standalone VR. When you consider these things, and the fact that if you've never used one of these other headsets before and gotten used to them, you don't really know what you're missing out on. So if you're like me, this still looks really impressive. I haven't been spoiled by one of the more expensive headsets, so it's great. Ignorance is bliss, right? And then when you also consider that prior to the Quest 3S, the best budget VR headset that we had was the Quest 2 with its terrible pass-through quality and its underpowered processing capability. Now we have this for roughly the same price that you'd pay for a Nintendo Switch. Oh, and it comes with the new Batman game and a 3-month subscription to Quest Plus, which is basically like the Quest version of Xbox Game Pass. I think this is a really good deal. One of the best deals in gaming today, not just in VR. I said before that this is not a sponsored video. Meta's not paying me to say any of this stuff. This is just my opinion. As someone who's been out of the VR game for quite a long time now and finally decided to jump back in, I'm glad I did it right now. I think it's the perfect time. So what I will do is put an affiliate link in the description. And if you do decide to actually get one of these and you found this video helpful and you'd like to support my channel, well, what you can do is use my affiliate link to buy your headset. But that's totally up to you. And finally, if you enjoyed this video, then why don't you show me some love, hit that like button, maybe even consider subscribing and hitting the bell notification icon. Drop me a comment below. Will you be picking up a Quest 3S? Have you got another headset in mind? Do you think VR still sucks and is not worth getting into these days? But until next time, I'm going to be living in this world, and yeah, I'll see you around.